Hi everybody, welcome back to AskAJ. I'm AJ from Symphony, and this is part 2 of a series of episodes where we're going to talk about some of the phrases that I've heard over time that even to this day still wrinkle my skin a little bit when I hear them. You know, you hear about the phrase that pays. Well, in this situation, these are the phrases that they cause pain. That wasn't very elegant, was it? They cause you pain when you hear them, especially because you hear them perhaps more frequently than you would like to. In this episode, we're going to talk about some of the phrases that you hear related to process changes. As you know, Intelligent automation is not about implementing a software. It's about process transformation that's enabled by these technologies. And so it really all comes back to the processes that you're working with. And it requires that those processes undergo some level of change. And so if you're early in an engagement, you're sitting down with people and perhaps it's SMEs, perhaps it's leadership, and you're trying to dig through a particular process to figure out what its automation potential is. When you ask the question, well, why do we do it this way? You're often not able to get an answer beyond that's the way we've always done it, which isn't really an answer. What it is just a replacement of saying, well, I really don't know why we do it that way, which is a completely legitimate thing to say if you weren't a part of building the process in the first place. But to say that that's the way we've always done it really avoids the question. It doesn't address the fact that we have situations where perhaps tons of process sediment has been built up over the years, and we don't really understand, even at a management level in some cases, why we're doing things the way we do them. So after you've challenged somebody about making the statement, that's the way we've always done it, what can sometimes follow that up is the statement, one of these two variants, well, the contract says I have to do it that way, or the program guidance says I have to do it that way. Sometimes you ask the question of the person who makes that response, well, when was the last time you actually read the contract or read the program guidance? And you may get a blank stare in response because again, that's what they've been told. It's not what they know. And while you may not expect all your subject matter experts to know exactly why you're doing everything the way you do it, your management and leadership should understand the basis for why your processes are done the way they are, because oftentimes it's interpretations, or in some cases misinterpretations of contracts, program guidance documents, of audit findings that lead you to add things to your process that just aren't necessary. And so it's important, and you don't have to be a lawyer to be able to read sections of a contract and understand whether or not it says that you have to do things this way or you have to do things that way. We used to call it the must-should principle. Does the contract say you must do it, which implies it's a requirement, or does the contract say you should do it, which can imply that we prefer that you do it, but it's not really necessary if you don't want to, or if you can't. So I would encourage you all, any of you in the operations out there who are in the process of getting ready to implement automation, to remember that as you're making the assessment on whether your processes can be automated or not, you're going to get asked the question, why do you do it this way? And things like, that's the way we've always done it, or that's the way the contract says we have to do it, don't fly if you've never really looked at it yourself and investigated to figure out whether that's really what it says or not. So some of you out there may have heard some things as well in your conversations and your travels. Please feel free to leave comments in LinkedIn or Facebook or Twitter. You can follow me on Facebook and Twitter at AskAJ Hanna, no H on the end. And we'll talk to you again next time.